data, latest data is 191 dates. From Polakadin in Kuanachanin, 200 houses were burned, 7,000 houses burnt. 200 plus villages burnt, and 7,000 houses burnt, and 360 churches and synagogues were burned, and more than 41,425 displaced persons across the country. Iti status Uchanahi state Manipur Gamhi bifurcate ahin, and it remains to be in the state of dichotomy. And but Birin government has been trying to all out efforts to extricate this. Tijahi challenges tampi omin. Tunilhai ki discuss nadiu here hile diaspora ho, the role of diaspora and the Global Kuki-Zo community in our movement. Chituahi niki discuss diwahin. So we'll try to stretch the discussion to other various issues without have to digress from the main topic of discussion tonight. Kipaumin tunilha organizer ho adia the Brits ho hin hitabang movement pedahi. We have difference of opinions and ideas. Hitabang ho hi reconcile bola. What is the way forward? We are trying to. This is a platform to forge the way forward. So thank you once again, and I'm very fortunate and honored to be part of the journey. So I welcome all the guests and all the participants tonight. We have 3 guests, P. Florence, P. Moy from France, and Pu Thong Kulun from United States of America. Amma ho cheng hin chitoping a discussion panelist hung pangu hin tu ahi kipat na zo siding ahi tau namang dinga Reverend LV Dongal in tau na iniman PDO hin, and after that we will have exodium and introduction speech from the organizers, and soon after that, without further ado, we will invite our panelists to discuss on the topic. So now we would like to call upon Reverend Dr. LV Dongal to say the prayer. Pa, nangin part hong kila ole.
Ada part ke pa ta chu mu ke noven ke pa men pathim pangwa wen he taun hen mang tange wana ka pau pathen na lung se na lo pi ta kong chang ye wen na men pi ka thang wa ne he tu ni la song wa thu la ho sei khom ding le tong khom ngai tu khom ding a mi phe khat ni se zom mi tenga he hong jaw nge in pakai nang man ka gam sung ne hen na musu kazen asit na jong na hen phat na jong na hen ahen lat nang ma lung sit na ya len Kuki-Zo jate tia kimin wo ho mail heiten thagam hela gam de go loading a good na he nang ma thagau thing ki thu pi na ya len he pa ama ho dei ta bang heliong luin hilovin khosung beng sung ho in phe pi ki hal hayong le ku cha te la ataw ding na koi jing ji in le thu sei tu ding na koi jing ji in na min lo pi alen ka thang wa an he tuni jan ka hong ho lim na ji ho jo se na in phat the na bo a gam le nam dinga tu ting nang ma leng gam ma chal na dinga sei do le bol do hi the na dingen nang man phat the hin bo ding in ka taw ki na he ke ma le ka bon cha wa nang ma lung thin ne ya tu ting le sagau thing ki thu pi na ja la dam ta ka ki man cha the na di ven ka phan ho jo se na khu na hin thanin ei hu hingo ka pakai ji suminen ka taw ben hei amen.
Thank you, Kipaumin, Pu LV Dongal. We would like to invite Pu Sang Boy Dongal, the organizer for this event, to give an exordium and introduction to the panelists tonight. Pu Sang Boy.
Kipa ome za thiwam
Nakizai.
amasan phat phai piu pathian ka thang bain ani na in tuna la pha na slide bridge platform a phat man tam ta hin pe do a guest speaker ai pan piu from my left to right, my extreme left a he le P Florence Lowy Guite hin ama hi founding president North American Manipur Tribal Association based in US. My NAMTA kiti kihep a president ahin and ani na in pu Dr. Thong Kulun amahi Kuki in PUS advisor pu ahin amani hin joining us from US, and joining us from France we have P Linda Moy amahi president Voice of Minority based in France. Chutingle Isak Memorial Foundation based in Delhi azong chairman ahin ama ho cheng guest zam ta guest thumini ho hi ma ho hi ama ho chunga amasan ki pathu ga asin chuting le apartment tam ta hin pi wa chlai bridge platform a nam ngai lu na za la apartment tam ta hin pi do wa tun la a topic ngu chu en repeat hi yong lang hewin chi chung thu a discussion ni khom dinga ong khom jiona vel chung wa ke pa thu ka sen aban ting le tun la discussion aki chai phat le question Q&A hour song di hin cha them khat rules aga seinom chu participant hon lamkai ho hi question i bol diu phat le zana nei ta question ido ji diu hi abang khanen direct ta I sa lo to bang ta question ki dong ho chu I bol lo di hui ti jong chu kaga participant ho kain team kit na hin din aban le discussion sunga hi mute ki bol su ke diu thu sei na phat yung ki pi phat le bo an mute ki bol di hui ti jong chu avelen kain sei ki nen tunila discussion hin SA movement idel SA movement a hi one step kalbi khana a forward iditi da kalbi khat isun be theina nadivin participant ho hin ge so in constructive mind bon wa inei su ke wa aphading zo chiting le maban chal thin ding zo a lungel ngai tu na inei wa idea share bol zo divin na bon chawin bridge thalenga team na ka hin nei he ka ki pai. Over to you. Mang, over to you, Mang. Moderator, please. A connection boy ham itiam khat mai the in amang som cha 1 minute ga nga otin ang online lo wa hi le program chu aban bana chi hla pe ing diu hi technicality lang hi them khat ka week je mon host team ho hi guess on in he team diwa avela ka hong taw hin tin over to you, Mang, if you can hear. Yeah.
Sang.
Go ahead, please.
Okay. Sorry, internet hung ki su lau hin. We would like to first give time to P Florence. Chimasangahi, I would like to also mention that P Florence was the one speaking on behalf of the Kuki-Zo at the United Nations Human Rights Council Chiahi inam piadinga iho chung thua human rights lamto kisaya United Nations thuini sei piuhin. He has been the voice of the Kuki-Zo in many other international platforms. Ama in Tunia hung sei na dingahi, we have seen the recent development that is 3 Kuki-Zo being killed in Assam, extrajudicial killing in Kachar, Assam, by the Assam police. And also we have seen that there is a proposal to withdraw the Assam rifles from the buffer zones. So the challenges why we would like to hear from them and their insights and their advice and the coordination between the CSOs and the international organizations that we have. Aman hithozo si hin that's a role and responsibilities of the Global Kuki-Zo in our movement. Aman pati hong kila api diwin kain teme. No, Florence, please.
Thank you, Mang, and thank you also to Sangboy and the KSO for organizing this. I appreciate the effort. It is always for us in the youth that I see hope, and I think you all have done a wonderful job. So thank you for that. I am going to read from parts of my speech that I made in Washington, D.C., because it gives a good background, and then I'll give you some insight into what we've been doing at NAMTA. So as I've been introduced, and many of you might know, my name is Florence Lo. My full name is Florence Liang Huilun Lo. I was born a Guite. My father is Tangzamang Guite and my mother is Aichung Guite. I'm the president of the North American Manipur Tribal Association. As many of you might know, I'm a member of the Paite tribe, which is one of the many tribes that falls under the Kuki-Zo umbrella. We, I'd like to remind all of you, are a people that collectively can trace our lineage back 29 generations to a common ancestor named Zo. We are a people with lands that straddle the border of India and Myanmar. Our tribes, our people, have lived in these lands since well before the thousands. Adopting Christianity in the mid-1800s through the influence of the British civil servants that were tasked with administering the northeast of India. Our tribes and our cultures are distinctly different from the rest of India, and our inclusion in the modern country of India is an accident of the ambition of the British in bringing the southeast region of Asia, spanning current Pakistan to Myanmar, under one administrative rule. Our chiefs contributed labor for World War I efforts and troops for World War II to the British. It was in Manipur and our neighboring state of Nagaland, the Eastern Front, that the Japanese were routed during World War II by American, British, and Indian armies. I add this historical detail because I was addressing a group of people who may not be very familiar with our area. I belong to the Guite clan, one of the storied clans of our tribes, which established many villages both in India and in Myanmar. My great-grandfather was a chief of a village called Loiboal, which is in Manipur in India. In modern times, I come from a family of civil servants. My father, the late Tangzamang Guite, was an Indian police officer of the Uttar Pradesh cadre, who retired as Joint Director of the Intelligence Bureau. After he retired, he was appointed by the governor of Manipur to be the chairman of the Manipur Public Service Commission. My mother was a teacher. My brother is a Manipur Police Service officer. My sister works at the Indian equivalent of the Reserve Bank of India. In the US, I married into an American family of Navy and Army veterans. My husband is a fire marshal in the Dallas Fire Department, and I teach at the University of Texas in Dallas. I'm also a technology entrepreneur working with K through 12 schools in Texas on data analytics for schools. And I would much rather be talking about technology and innovation. And in my later years, this is what I would rather be doing with our people, thinking about how to bring or help bring, of course, the youth, all of you are doing much more than we are in the West, our people into this current century, a world where AI and data is where you want to be. But today is August 5th. My mother's birthday is coming up in 10 days, and it's been way more than 365 days that she has been away from her home in Imphal in Paitaveng. And this is the reason why I, Lien Gangte, Niang Hangzo, and so many more people, Lydia, there's so many more people in the US that we got together and formed the North American Manipur Tribal Association on the 5th of May, 2023. I do want to remind us as human beings and as Christians that, at least for me, when my family was attacked by that Métis mob, the reason they survived is they were also sheltered by a Métis neighbor, a friend. I know it could have been much worse for my family, and it was horrible, worse for so many others. But I think we somehow need to hold on to our humanity and our dignity in all of this. And I think we've done a wonderful job of that, all said and done. The loss to my family, to our tribes, to our people is one that is a huge loss. It's such an inadequate way of saying it. It's a huge loss. The church that was behind our house, the EBCC church in Paitaveng, my father had made the design. After he retired, he became very creative, and he had made the design for the pulpit that was in that church that was burnt on that night. But I am in awe of all the people, our people, including my family, who, in the face of such injustice, have carried on and continue to build a wonderful life in spite of everything. And I think the core of that is something that that enables us, Amy, to weather these storms with the help of our community, with the help of our friends and family, is a very precious core that we should really see as our super strength. When people ask me about the history of the violence, my heart sinks, because it's right often in the US, it's right often after I tell them what happened to my mother and my family, my little nieces and nephews. And inside me, I wonder, what did I leave out that people look to try to rationalize what happened? Did I not just tell them that my mother, my sister-in-law, nieces and nephews that were ages 2 through 13 had to hide in a neighbor's shed while a violent mob burnt their house and came back the next day and looted the house? When someone is in pain, a word of sympathy would not be amiss as the first reaction. There is no reason or explanation that excuses what happened. But I think we also need to understand that in the world, there are so many things that are happening, so many injustices, that if we sit and wait for sympathy or help from anyone outside, it's going to take a long time. It's going to be very difficult to get that. So the only solution for us is to stay calm and carry on and fight for our own rights. And we in the US, in the West, whether we are NAMTA, an organization, or just individual sons and daughters of Amy, we are here to help and support you in any way we can. A lot of the movement needs to be led from within the people of India, because of course, when we from the outside try to say anything, it is seen as foreign interference. But as you know, we are with you. I do think as we go forward, we need to be very smart and play the long game, which means that getting small wins is not a bad way to try to win the big battle. Something like SA or separate administration, I guess that's what that stands for, is a very hard thing to achieve because no one else is feeling the pain. Even from aid agencies in the US, what I hear is, as far as they know, everything has calmed down and this is no longer a situation. So if that's the case, the sense of urgency is not there, and certainly no one really is in our camp. But when I see the young people who just got admitted to the civil services, the young lady who got the IPS role, or other folks, I'm very, it gives me a lot of hope, because I think it's through all of these people that work within the system, the students, the different groups that are doing the things that they're doing. We need to ask our politicians to step up, because we need to use the system. India's independence, if we go back to history, was won through ahimsa, nonviolence, and being in a position of really no power or friends, and really not a lot of wealth within our community overall. I think what we need to do is play the long game and really work, all of us together, every single one of us together, to achieve peace, security, safety, and autonomy for our people. And more than that, I want to get beyond this subsistence level issues to how do we accelerate our people into a powerhouse like Vietnam or Thailand or Hong Kong or even Singapore. How do we get there? Let us not be dealing with small issues. Let's try to get our people to be, a thriving economy where everyone has a good future. All of us, all the tribes, all the clans, men, women, and let's work together towards that. I'll pause now and I'll hand it back to Sangboy. Thank you.
Thank you so much, P. Florence. If I don't misrepresent your ideas, it was you were emphasizing on the unity and the working together as one unit, the Kuki-Zo community. So now we will be having another speech from the one of the panelists, that is Nu Moy from France, and Nu Moy being one of the most vocal leader among the diaspora, who is speaking against ministers being remain in the Biren Singh government. She was one of the critic during that time. Unfortunately, we have not succeeded on that move, but it gave us a lot of insights and awaken so many people. So I would like to urge, I would like to request P. Moy to focus on the present and the future plan the society intend to, I mean the diaspora intend to carry out to expedite the separate administration movement, while she's speaking on the role of Kuki-Zo diasporas in there. Yeah. Please, Pimoy,
Okay.
take the...
Yeah,
Yeah,
thank you.
thank you.
Good evening to the organizers, organizers, and to the host, and thank you for the invitation. Actually, I didn't have much time, and at the moment, I was not even very motivated to come up on to come and speak. But then I thought it over again. These young generations are coming up at this moment, so we need to come up. So this is the reason why today I'm here, speaking here with you all, and thanks to the new generation for pushing us again, for waking us up. So yeah, I would like to speak a little bit on the role of the Kuki-Zo society on the SA movement. So I am speaking on behalf of the Global Kuki-Zo Myanmar, or Kuki-Zo, whatever name. For me, the name is not important. We are one. And I spoke to several of the members by phone because I wanted to be sure what we are talking about. So I consulted a few members concerning this topic. So as a global citizen, like especially us, we do not have any leverage on the government of India when it concerns the separate administrative movement, because this is very this is India's internal problems. So, but as a non-resident Indian or overseas citizen of Indians, we can do a lot of things like counter psychological warfare in digital world against the Meitei disinformation, which I think a lot of our boys have been doing. Especially like if I know correctly, ZFS is very fast on that, and Ting Tang and Malta or something, and then there's another few of the groups that were very efficient. So we have very good smart people among our community. So this is not we do not have problem on this. And then we need another, my point too is streamlining Wikipedia to impact the young minds, because Wikipedia is very important, because a lot of, when we don't know anything, we just type Wikipedia. So it has to be properly uploaded. So, and then it needs to have also a lot of, how do you call it, rules and regulation to be able to upload there, because there can be a lot of misinformation even there. And we have Kautelia 33 Uday Reddy, who has been uploading truth and facts, like even when it hurts us, he uploads it. That's the way he works. So this guy is something to consider. And then another thing is the framing political strategy. Like in the framing of a political strategy, like we do not have a direct impact as a global citizen, but then we can help with like what we have done before, calling for the boycott. Like I participated with Nyang Florence's sister, Nyang Haltara Manchin, and Esther Thangzom from Israel. And all this, all of us women came together and we called for the boycott of election. But well, our people back home has different way, so they voted for a Congress candidate, which is a pity, because today we would have our story would have been different anyway. And then I don't know, talking about SA movement, when we still have 2 cabinet ministers, for me that itself is a joke actually. Why are we dreaming of a separate administration when we have two of our Kuki-Zo community as a cabinet ministers? So this itself for me is another thing why I cannot fully work with our people, and I cannot fully trust our people anymore since the time we have been coming up in the open. And then fourthly, I would say, like, our participation will be limited to like contacting organization, human rights activists from India, within India or internationally, like Global Kuki-Zo community has done for the PUCL, to which I'm part of, and Lengangte NAMTA Canada. So these are all the works we have been engaging in. And then another very important is like we all have NGOs. Like I have noticed that the Métis community have quite a number of NGOs that are affiliated to the ECOSOC United Nations, and they are connected with some of the known NGOs in Mumbai. I forgot the name, where Bablu is also working, where Bablu is also part of the forum, and where they get sent Métis, how do you call it, to the UN to speak on for their community to the United Nations, which has been I feel it has been also people fundraise for their airfare and all that. So I think that our Kuki community, our Kuki-Zo community, whatever, we should have our own like NGOs that will be affiliated to the ECOSOC United Nations. So these are very important. So that will be like sensitization of our plight to the international level, I mean at the UN level. And then another one is that our people have been contacting space and all that. But then I think we need to have a further like reach out more to the Indian political economy, inviting more outsiders, and then we should also start to invite non-Kuki-Zo communities for political education of youth, which we need a lot. And then another thing is that funding, funding. Actually, even funding, So our participation and our contribution is within the constitutional and fundamental, within the framework of the constitutional and fundamental rights of India. So this is important because we cannot we cannot cross the red line, because there are certain things that I would like to come to India all the time. I wouldn't like to be, so this limits our participation politically. And so that's all about it. And I heard Florence talking about Vietnam. I was there in Vietnam in January, end of January, for 3 weeks. And I have seen that all the houses and all the living, the way the people live are exactly like in Lamka or Kangpokpi, or like our people actually. But the big difference is everywhere, even in small, tiny villages, they have asphalted road. Infrastructure is so good, you won't believe it. Their mode of living is so different from our people, and so this is the mode of living I think we should really copy. And I dream of course I dream of SA, but I dream even more of a government that is uncorrupted. So this is what we need most, I think, well, from my point. So if you have any question, I'll be able to take for a few questions. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much, Department. No more in. Amana hong say na to social media lang hi han lang. chule youth lang ho hi hoita mobilize bola, and then also obviously we need funding because the situation there is we are in a dire situation, and our future is still uncertain, equivocal, and ambiguous. We don't know what kind of action the central government will be taking in the near future. So all they have done so far is to pacify the Birin and some group of Métis, some section of the Métis society. So it's Aman advice on Piotu. We take note of that, and now we will be having a speech from one of the panelists, that is Pu Thongklun, advisor to the Kuki-Zo USA. Ti amai Pa Thongklun, advisor to Kuki-Zo USA in ahin say chi topic sunga haulima hin nei sunga hi hin focus dinga new khat ka dei jong hi mi pi zo sin Kelvin city, and then like metropolitan cities ahi we have Kuki-Zo in Asu Kelvin ahi wanga US ahi, US being one of the most litigious society, it tabanga customary law hi lawa la culture ho hi US la hi, it will hardly find a space in such society. So people might want to know what is the objective and the role that the Kuki-Zo as an organization has been playing during the violence, and and in the future also. So please, Pu Thongklun, please take your time.
Please unmute, sir.
Please unmute, sir.
Akiza here, sir.
Okay. Good morning and good evening. I'm so happy and glad to see you all. First of all, I would like to introduce myself aside from what you have said. So I came to the United States in 1996 from Burma. And my purpose was to become, to study chaplaincy, how to do chaplaincy work in the hospital, so that I can bring that education to Burma, where there's no chaplains in hospitals. It's okay, but God showed me a different way and I remained it. And so there are many reasons. So aside from the advisor of Kuki-Zo USA, I work as a hospital chaplain currently at the St. Luke, Baylor St. Luke Hospital in Houston, Texas, the medical center. At the same time, I'm a pastor of the Burmese church. My wife and I started the church in 2005, and we are growing by God's grace, and we are about 400 members. And we have bought our own church building, and so we are doing a lot of mission work to different places, Burma, Myanmar, and also Thailand, even Brazil. And also I'm the advisor of the Kuki-Zo. So one thing what Kuki-Zo is doing is we also have problems and pros and cons, because when we say Kuki,
1 minute, sir. 1 minute, please. Mixed quality, sir. Audience holding girl nazalin a pawong nang nato telen to lang ito te audience holding girl nan hing Amy pawong mangoy te na.
Itum da molopi. Tua kasi ho chu ntha se ke lang ke hi 1996 US kana sun hiya Burma pana kana to chai le training kana kai pi pen chai le hospital chaplaincy na to iti to ring ham ti training kana kai hin ka lungel ka rai tup chai la kolgama kin le ding hospital hwai chaplaincy education hi training pe ding hospital yu sia chaplain koi thein ti hi kan gel hin a hin la political situation that chum yin lungel lo mor so yu la toi mer ka dan hin tu tua hi Baylor St. Luke Medical Center ki hospital a hi chaplain na ka to a jong le Burmese hobung kha jong kan pat wa 2005 at to hi kom som na ku ka thing ta bin member yong je level ka hi bin mission na yong tampi ka tangove ka yo kham bin so that's where I am Kuki pi ka kiloi khom hi Kuki ki tiang le kolgam Burma pan India pan kam je hin kung min jong ki bang jong le ka thinking process ho ki bang jilo ki ko phom jong in bai lo da hai we have different ideology different little cultural difference also because of being Indian and Burma however we try our best ya chu ha sal he jong le to hi nam pha ki hi tina pa chu kilai khom ne kin e hi ya tu nya ku kin pi hin tu Manipur he nang Burma boi na he jong le ani nia hi ki hon kin kala wa hin ka yo chanwa Manipur la ding en jong ne le cha hian nang adang dang ha san na ki thu khom na ding yang pan la thin chana kala wa hin le ma yong yi ho hian nang PDF ho hian nang ko hi yong le ka ki ne to ayong ka bol yo na he chu kana to yo chu thu pi pe na hin khat ve le kyo hi balma langa na tampi po we na lhom pe Manipur na tampi ti ta bang hi ka se yi ven hi na chun ai lai ho hi thu ne au cha bo hin kin kalung thima ka yel jing what I have been thinking is why we are so divided it hi kalung thima question ma ka nei jing ai iki khannaw hi mu thei thil hin ipia ki pun khom thei lo ham na ipia so divisive ki him ti hi pegel jing jin kalung thima hin ka ngai to yam jin tunin tham khat sharing kan bol no na khanna chi phiam da le we are one race one people anthropologically speaking we are from one origin yung pin do now nu la pa khat ina minam khat hi ben ai la ipiringa tunia hi ki khantal na tampium ham hi reason ho in hol ting le the first reason khatna choi la political reason ungi ting da ne khatna Bangladesh India Burma independent an la ku na yo hi aki khan kilo mi an ai khan na we were not divided but I mean we do not divide ourselves but we are divided ya to India Burma Bangladesh ti hwa ngi ki khanu le to hi ki mu to yong le nang kol gam mi nang India mi nang ti a hi ki mu khan yong tam pio mi to se hello in India sunga Manipur sunga nang yong le za na ki khan na ini yu ke hi India yong ka na jing sa Madras a yong Sena yong Bible school kana kai sa Indian thu la la yong hi ka het kham khama kan he le India buine nang Burma buine yong le oi chi chu yong le thing lang mi te hi ilung punu tha khat khan ti ka mu ro na khan hi how many he a hi tunia iki khan ho hi Burma le Bangladesh le India ti a ki khan na ini na hi tang khana sei dinga ki khan na di ta ai pu is superficial division a hi in he chi ya chi ikilung khat ta wai le e chi hin ei su han thei po win ta tia hi ka mu he ya API tunia ke hin ka gyal masang lai pui pa tho lekha them do not educated na amma ho khang lai ban jun e ho more united ni ule I tunia e ho we become more and more educated and the more we become educated we become more divisive na iki khan che je go nai la lungdan mo am ta ni chi lang han na sei ding chun a reason aji ho hi kagel ji nai le kagel ro khat chip yum mam ta le khana hi tunin le khathi mi tam ta history bu yong tam pi sunuwen even na le mi mo in history study hi namnia ke bol the na we can study history in two ways. One is fact finding, second is bias study. Factual finding study so ahi na bang banga thu semi poldo thu sim sun loi amin ama de na banga ade na kaya thu sim sun loi kyomin hiwala chun fact finding ta thu sim all hi akil ho min hina ama de da na ai bias study bol agit tam ta ni chen device mi na tam pi a society khana kamui ni chui pi a hong su ro ham ta le lang khana sei dinga hi egocentric na mind ei ma shi na pa su sa ti self interest din pa yong chu hong hin tin ani na yong lack of consensus ki ti ki ho to na lawa na to yang hi e ki pum khat lo na hin te kama hi sewa le thakhat ni ti win ai wanga la thakhat hin ri nga hi na to a hi kilang thilo e chi ba ting le mi group khan nan tong in nam pi ding in nam pi home in na very wide very wide scope na lungeli nei bin nai tong ji vai wangin mirang ta ki ke holo na iwi naw dang ho ke ko lo meeting ki bol pi lo e ma sunga meeting ki bola i de tan khat chu ki pro yi ti oi a hoi le wanga chu ikiro lo teng le hen mi hen support e bol nom ji roi e chi tu e ho thing lang cha teo e mi society song kamu ke ma pa sol hi na ya hina kamu ro hi organization tam ta se min tun jang manipula nam sapai ki ti nam na tong ki tam pi min amo khi do la ke nam na tong ka ti su ke bin nam pi na tong ai su ke bin ko ya do bon ko ma cha dang la ma thu to bol ngan se ne consensus ki ti ki ho tu nom thelo ya cho as we become more educated we have to meet and discuss and find the truth ina ki ho tu nga ya tan e ki ho tu di he ki ho tu na ko na nan to ting la apal ke am thelo ring ti kalson ring pa hi isim do ma sangu hen he chi division o hi I mean chui pi ki sim yang le that thelo ding he na tun yang manipur boy na sunga kuki se ade lo ya Kuki-Zo ti win Zo United ni ti win ITLF ti win that same one names can be changed anytime. I can change my name, you know. I want a mihim ki khel thelo. A mi ki khel thelo in e ho pum khan ni naw ki khel thelo. Min wang su I de wa le tam pi sim lo jing ding dan no na min. Ya hi ken tunia wa khang tha go lang chapang num ho yu si anang lam ka ho yang le encourage ka bol num chu how can we make a platform that we come together and make a consensus to move forward. Hijipa hi ibol tenri wa hi education yang hi iti sim da mi him ho lungsunga hi iti thu sei di ham hina mi yo sen thu di amu tenri nga thu ta pom tenri nga hi plan khat na to khat yang hi isim the tu ne na hon bridge the bridge a hoi the ying in na it I'm so happy to see that it sounds very nice, the bridge, which means bridging all the gaps. Ikiba lo now, tam POC, it's number one as idea sharing in ballpark hi, hong to pi naile. Echo kinang kepa ni acho kong yao te hi in. Kinjong America din mana kana to hi. Israel langa so piwala na ho tam ka kheu jing ji jong le Burma lang yan ng India lang yang le jing le ni la nam pia ringa ka jo jana na ka to le aloi nuin na hobung na to jing jong na tong yok ta pui thil dang dang na tong be se ta hi waling ai ti pi jing ta na hen ai yang le hi yong chu ประเทศที่เป็นนัตโตขันให้แต่ให้น้ำปีดำเทนดิ่งและน้ำปีปุ่มขันหินดิ่งจุเลSAT State a separate administration เฮียนังบัลมลังยัง autonomous state ที่KNO KNB and other นะมุมเมนเฮียนังยังร้อยจิตช่วยยังเลยมูลสุดเทนดิ่งอีต่อดี number one ขัดน่าจะเล็กกิปุ่มขัดดิ่งลงขัดหินดิ่งทั่วเห็นนี่จะลงขัดหินดิ่งป่าฮีที่บอดีครับแค่เห็นก็มูรานาฮีทิ้งลามีแต่ยูสิคุยกิติยังเลยตั้มยอฮีวิยันวิยันเอาฮีลุงหินนมป่าอีเกลขัดตาเบรานาอีเกลว่านายต่อป่าวิเชียจะมุตติยาฮีนะ from vision to goal ได้ละตุกกิจิเนี่ยนับต่อลังยอหินมาได้นับป่าเสียฮิคัลส่งละว่า vision oriented ละ goal oriented ว่านายต่อว่าเลย goal ลองกิติเต็งเลยเห็นอีพีหงตัก plan ให้ตาmaintain methods maintain realistic methods ไว้นะยอดจนเสียมดอเต็งเลยเห็นอี goal เลยหงทงเทดึงอยากให้ตุลายตายหัวเห็น group ขันนึงมินขัดสุรนดึงอาฮีอามาวิยันไปcall ten เวลา building ซาติบังอาฮี space งาเห็นมันก็เต็น spaceอินนี่บังอาฮีเอาเห็นอีจันกิจุกิพายโลเห็น space อินสัตบังเวียนตบังหงนาฮีนายโตโหอย่างฮีเขียนจะมา realistic what is realistic and practical ที่อย่างฮีเขียนจะมา and what is truthful ที่อย่างฮีwhat is love based ที่หอฮีอีเขียนว่านายโตโหมาเลยทำขัดหงเจ้าเจ็ดจมูกเตะที่ฮีตุนยกินเนบนวังจูกินนี่นะ I'm not hopeless I'm very hopeful and I'm praying for this and I am willing to work with anybody who has the same vision and the same goal. Kaya pa
Paumin pu thong khulun advisor Kuki in P USA chomlam ta practical challenges unity ngai cha dan mabani chawna dinga chule inato du thu sam tabanga ideilam ta action mo la be more realistic and practical in the movement ati chamcha in holim piovin ke paumin to ahi we will collect we will have Q&A session and the audience are requested to follow the decorum and chamcha cha hungdong ding in kang timin chule and to the panelists ahi theyale I would like to request you to use more mother tongue and so that because the targeted audience are mostly back in Manipur, so please use more local dialects. Ipau het heidan cha ei ho pau ho zanguitin ai theyale, but there are times when we have to isei chit heina ding we have to say it in English. We understand that. So audience langa ko na donom na yaw male phat hong kila ading win kaung teme.
First question kan ni nge. I will have the first question. Kan kain do nom si le Madam Florence nang NAMTA anato hitampi akimuin akizaw akizain nammi pi thaleng ke pa thu NAMTA chung amasan ga asen to akain do nom chu ne het thina chu na me okay to akain do nom chu ai le a hello wong tampi omen a he zong tampi omen hello zong tampi omen about NAMTA ten eho for our cause eho adinga na to dano apan la adano sitting le recently kahet hilo le May ta March ta congressional briefing na bol ho ichong chu mi pi het thina chom lama brief naval pi diwa kan tiam kin tin aban le enzo ana speed su kaza hilowa hile US lama international nang ho na langa chu Manipura India ai mazo si normal to bang hitai ti zong hin ji achu then how do we move on ai hile e hon ilung tu muchula imunai hi wen SA la imunai hi wen imacha solution la nai hin le to banga chu international level imazo si normal to banga so mai le koi ma chen e gel ho lo duty na hitan chiti chu ai le EPT panela adi ham ti jong them khat nin sei pi leusen phante ka ki pa e
Wow, Sangboy. Thado bao cookie bao hỏi ta gen cái thấy xiêm chắc cái ám hoặc là gen hilele na chị I think I do understand bằng nong nong the
is okay paite is okay
hey I mean I have no thado so I couldn't even start try just to clarify, did you want to ask me a little bit about the congressional briefing and then also talk about what NAMTA has done? Was that the question?
yeah
Okay.
all of it in one piece.
All of it in one. Okay. So hey kum khat violence kipat king at to me like a family effect nani mo of course Amy injustice apaina ha sota like we've been I think under a lot of injustice for a long time, but hey kumkat anniversary May kumkat anniversary atung dak ahiin ka go NAMTA in USA lien le nyang le kavekun banghiam hi ngai ahi katiwa protest kong ahi tunga protest kong kahiu ka return on investment ka asang ka sakewa hija elam ABN n ka ki enin mo hilale a result tak banga tikha athiksiam haksa waizakin bangtadanin ka effortu kasumu kahunu bangtadanin kazang tewa emite adia result sang ben mukte waizakin why February March apan ka plan panwa yay US Congress ka US ka India Internal Affairs ti dan dewen ngaya act utgiwa hilale a situation to thelo to om kiwa hilale en bangma iti kele en ti to Amy en bangma iti kele whether we're US at yom France, Houston, Dallas, India, in Lama, India, Delhi, Lamkonga, ihilale. And it's ikele, and bangyam, if we don't speak up, kwamadang dia audi kwamadang omlo ahi. Wajaken amasapena en ka bangyam iti ngai. Wajaken poimo kasawa. I'm sorry, kapaita paule broken my mind. Wajakin ka plan wa US ka Washington DC Congress Congress the US senators the office kitile office kat lian pia building a room kat kalawa le Congress le senator teng ka katsialwa amau staff Hong Tonwa speaker tupi mama dia dia lunghimo mi tamatam ka insen. We have lots of friends Amy and we were very lucky and blessed to get speakers such as Dr. Fernand de Verens ama mi tupi mama Professor, UN Special Rapporteur Kong Hing Gebang ka background ka technology lam hinsin, private sector lam hinsin. Amy a struggle ka ken ka thaidan ka tomatom yay apat ma yay Dr. De Veren te kong ka isang tam jo tayo ama bang adang ka Dr. Gregory Stanton ama ka founding president and chairman of Genocide Watch. Me to be mama. He was willing to come, and we didn't pay. Speaker dia kasapteo ka go sum pehetlo. As atam for the most part go NAMTA ka we've raised money mostly Amy apan. Amy USA Canada apan sum karezu ka huay ka atang pihya. Adang karez now ka Indian churches. Punjabi te Tamil Nadu te state tuam te ten ka sum hongpiawa hey kolgam biakin ten le sum hongpiao Dr. Stanton our third speaker was David Curry amaka commissioner of USERF United States Commission on International Religious Freedom me tupi mama speaker dia ka kasap theo kachial theo ka atupi mama and they came as yak ea dia ka hong feel mama mangchati dia the issues they hong te mama te siam mama hilele te siam akisak leleo hitia koka we took them out to dinner the night before Nick Kompi kahiwa le hitia casual speech ball tukatile hitia casual situation hitia kiholim na hitia tang tu chitu tang tu tak mo kong ihil tia amau atek siam danu ka deep soma ma insin why muna kahokwa speaker who are all very influential in this sphere, and then the session itself a briefing why congressional staff kong tamatam hong kong payo why then ka hitya azaku video kong te eto report kong asimo sanga ko apat angay kya ko ka powerful mama insin was like a witness witness bearing he na ka apoy mo why apan bangham US political machine apan action omle di to here hilele as success na ka like what we can take pride in that we got out of that is visibility and raising awareness as ya kay ngay to adan til music kung gen dia Amy independent mama wa ivekun leader ngen ihiwa waisaka Pastor Lun unlike you ken ka ngay to adan ka unity ti tak yay pangkom tak ka haksa dia hilele Kaedana, and I've been watching the situation. Kaedana, meeting everyone in ahiu ka ahoy kasa. Aziag coordinate vex somle pangkom vek hitya. Let's try to speak with one voice. Ka hagsama maa. Why ihile will waste a lot of trying to build consensus. Why zeka ivekun ki support tuale. Ahoy mamadi kuchidan main NAMTA kahi somu ka a lot of relief lampang